Okay guys, I would like to show you how to implement queue using linked list. For that, I will need two classes. One is node and second one is queue. So queue is different from stack, which is all elements that will go in queue, and they will be in a different order from stack. Just created some simple presentation show how queue works. So first element goes in queue, goes out first. And yes, let's pretend we have an integer array, which I'm gonna do. And to begin with, we put head and tail. Yes, we have in queue class we have tail. So we assign them to null at the beginning, and then we keep head at the initial place when we assign it, which is the first element in array. And for tail, we reassign it every time we add a new element, as you see in here. Yep, that's how it goes. That's how we add. And when we move head to the next element in array. So the first element, first value, value 1, is removed right now. Okay. And I will use a debug mode after I'm done with this code, just to show you very slowly how it works. I know I'm slow typer and I talk slow as well, so if you're faster, you're welcome to skip through and just to see the last 2 minutes of the video to see the source code, or if you want to have it in text version, just text me or send comments or something like that so I can send it to you, or just post it on request. Okay, I'll start with the main here, and as I said, I'll use just the integer array, and I will do scanner for that. I'll use just one library, so let's import it. Okay, put it in the space. Okay, in main we create instance of the queue class, and this will be our queue. I'll just call it my queue. Queue is the name of the class for queue, where we will have functions enqueue and dequeue. Okay, so my queue. Then let's start our output with words. Type integers to fill the queue or something like that. And scanner, guess how I call my scanner? It will be just my scanner. Okay. So our main will be short as it's supposed to be, and integer, my value, is the element of our array, and my my scanner.next integer. Good. So I will type some integers, and how do I know when to exit, when to stop typing? Is whenever I put 0, I exit and exit the while loop. So I do while loop, my value is not 0. I can keep adding elements to my queue. And here I will use the first function, which I will implement after. So right now is my queue enqueue. That's how we put our elements, our values that are coming from standard scanner into our queue. My value. And then I will use a lot of system.out println because I want to put in output every change that happens in this project. That's how I learn. I want to see every step, and it works so far. So value enqueued is my value. And then we go to next value from scanner. Nice. So when value equals to 0, we exit the while statement, and let's print something that tells us that it's over. Finished enqueuing. New line. Start dequeuing. Let's first do the code for enqueue, and then we'll do dequeue. Oh, actually, I'll just finish with the main, and then I will do the queue functions, both of them, enqueue and dequeue. So that will be kind of in order. Well, that's order for me. I hope it works for you too. Okay, my queue. We're gonna have some other function which is called isEmpty. I hope you know what it means. In this function, we will check if the head is null. So if it's not null, we'll keep dequeuing elements from our queue. And that's why I type here while it's false. So while it's not null, we do something, which is, I'll just do output for everything. And here I use print function because I want to have it, to make it look really, I don't know, fancy, something like that. So it will have a few white spaces between all elements. This is actually string, so I'll put it in double quotes. Arguments will be my queue, Dequeue. Dequeue is a function that takes out all elements starting with a head, if you remember in that presentation. Well, when the head equals to null, which means we emptied our queue, we'll just print the goodbye statement. And so that's our plan. Good luck and goodbye. So the plan is take user input as integer, like it's not actually array, but integers until user inputs 0. Then enqueue every element, ignore 0, start dequeuing from head, so it means from the first element that was enqueued, and then just exit and say good luck and goodbye. As I said, we're gonna use linked list here, so I'll just do the class node. To start with element and next. It's a basic structure for linked list class, so you can just skip. Private node next. You can use it public, not necessarily private. And some basic functions here as well. Something like set element, and parameters, so we'll send something there and it will equal our element to that value. And I'll comment it out later, but as I said, I want to see every output for every change that happens in this project. So whenever we go to this function, in debug mode, we'll print the element value that we'll have. Next function will be get element, actually get next. There is no parameters. We'll just return the value for next element in the linked list. Oh, it's not public, it's just public. Then set next. And also system.out for output, which I will comment out right now. So next is and one more function. Actually, it's not a function. We'll need a constructor. In a node class. Node n. And guess what? Yeah, system.out println. Is element and then next. I could have done it later, but I just don't want to come back to good. So we're done with node class. Let's go to queue. Class queue, node, our head, and we'll have our tail here too. We'll just do constructor here at the beginning. So head will be null and tail will be null. Oops, as well. Which will do this. Before we have the first value, both head and tail, both will point to null. Okay. Are you still awake? I know it's just 12:20 a.m. and well, yeah, that's the only time I can make myself do this. Okay. Our first very important function is enqueue. Just value or whatever you call it in those parentheses. We'll create a temporary element here, which will go to our node right here in constructor. So element will be value, node next will be the value, which is null. Okay. Here we also will check if head is empty. If it is, then head will equal to temporary. Tail will be temporary. That's what we do in the beginning when we have empty queue. And yes, system.out. Head is, my laptop fan is so loud, so weird. Okay, head is, or head value, tail is our tail value. Okay, so if head is not empty, then see what happens. We need to change where our tail points to. Which will be the element that comes to our enqueue function. So if it's not the first element, but the second element, see what happens. That was our step number 1. When step number 2 happens, tail is getting pointed to the second value in an integer array. Head stays the same because we didn't do anything to our head. So initially head was assigned to temp, and temp in that case was the first element that was in our scanner. So the first value that we took was assigned to head. When head is not empty, so something in there, we assign our tail only. So if it's not the first value that goes with what we use our enqueue function, we always will go to else statement. Here, if is empty, we go only one time, the first time. Yes, and I forgot my favorite system. Then out. Okie dokie. A little bit more. We almost made it through. I'm not being too enthusiastic. Again, it's too late. Okay, Dequeue function, second very important function in this program that you need to understand. Here we'll have temporary value again. Okay, we'll check here what's in our head. So this function, Dequeue function, happens when we are done with getting values in our array and we want to get rid of some values. Okay, that's what happens. First we see what's in our head, and in our head we have the first element that we took. After we have it, we assign our head to next element using function GetNext. As it was here. So our head is here, our tail is here. When we go to use Dequeue function, which is when we remove elements, we take the value, we see what's in our head. Before this step, our head was value 1. We take it, we assign it to temporary value, and then we assign our head to second value in our queue. As you remember, the first element in queue comes out first. That's the idea of Dequeue function. Course system.out. And we return temporary value, which will show which value we just removed. The last function that we need to do is, guess what? Is empty. This value needs to return true or false statement, which means we need to have Boolean function. Return head equals to no. Okay, almost done. Let's test it. Good. Let's see if it works. Okay. No, doesn't work. Why? Get element. Okay. Let's go to our node. Yes, I didn't do get element. Sorry. Well, I'll fix it. Just a quick function, basic function in node. So our element is, we don't need to assign it, we just return it. Good. Let's see. Come on, dude. What do you don't like? Oh. Yeah, I shouldn't have called it queue. Okay, let's do queue project. Queue project. Just need to change the name for this. Really? Wow. Okay. I can't call it Q project. Let's do Q test. How about that? Do that. Awesome. Q test and Q test. You gonna like it this time? Q test, Q test. What do you like now? Hey, what the heck happens? It's not Q test here. Yes, and it's not Q test here. Java. What's now? Incorrect package? Why? It's correct. Oh, so that's the name and the package. Sorry. You happy now? No? Can't find it? Let's create default constructor for our node class. So it has the default values for element and next. I'm giving you everything and you still complain. Really? You can't find element? Why? Yeah, I was too sleepy. Ned, oh my god. Sorry. Yeah, I was gonna type node and type net instead, like had. Okay. What's now? Oh my god. So Java just changed it all. You happy now? It always happens to me. I don't know. I'm just, whatever it's called, attention deficiency, something, blah blah blah. Yeah, that's about me. Okay, let's test it now. Yep. Where are you? Let's see you. Where's my thingy? Output? No. What? Okay. Just wanna run it. Q project wasn't found. Oh yeah. I can't believe this happened. Oh my god. Yeah, guys, I'm so sorry. Okay, so let's just do some really fast testing. I'll do, hey, why? I didn't even start anything. this to me. Oh, really? Oh my god. Okay, I did. So first value in Q1, then 3, then 5, 7, 9. And after that I type 0. 0 doesn't go to Q. So I finished enqueuing, then dequeuing started. And remember I told you about fancy output? That's how it looks like when you put those system.out print function, printf. Okay, that's how it looks like. Good luck and goodbye. And also I'm gonna start the debugging mode now. So it will stop at every function. That's how I learn everything. I need to stop here. I'll just do breaking points here. So if you don't know how to use debugging mode, it will show you at least how to stop at functions or at any place you want to stop. Our linked list class, I'll make breakpoint 2. I don't need it. You don't need, I guess you don't need a default constructor if you have a constructor with parameters. Good. And I'm gonna delete all those comments for output. So we'll see what happens in every function. Not our, it's out. Okay, did I delete every comment? Looks like yes. Okay, let's begin. Debug file. Whoopsie. Let's go here. Okay, so let's do it as simple as I can. I'll just input value. The first value is gonna be 1. Let's go. Let's start, continue. So that's where we start. We took value which was 1. Now we go in while loop to check if it's not 0. We know that it's 1 and it's not 0, so we need to continue. Step over. Actually, let's go in. Yeah. We go to enqueue function. Here we have our temporary value assigned to the first element in linked list node. We assign the value 1 and its address null to the node constructor. Node constructor is here, so we received value null, value 1 and address null. Print. So as you see here, element 1 is, element is 1, next is null. Let's go next. Then we check if our head is empty. Let's see. Remember enqueue, at the beginning our head is assigned to null, so it's empty now, and it's supposed to go inside this function. Check if head equals to null, return true. It is empty. So head equals to temp, and our temp is 1 pointing to null. Tail is 1 pointing to null, and we'll print it now. So head is pointing to the same address that our tail is pointing to. Here. Head and tail pointing to the same address. Let's go next. Okay. Value enqueued is 1. Let's do number 2. Second value. Let's check if it's not 0. It's not 0, it's 2. So go and do function enqueue, send to this function value of 2. Okay, we are in our enqueue function in class queue. Our temp right now equals to something different. Let's see. So now we'll send value to no. Okay, element is E. Next is no. It's right here. Next is no. Okay, let's check if our head is empty. Remember, it happens only in the beginning. Right now, our head is pointing to the same address as as tail, but it's not null. So head is not null. Then we don't go inside of this function. We go to else. And our head still has this address and this value. And tail, we need to set next. And tail equals to temp now. Oh, here's the function next. So we send it n. Next equals to n, the next value. This will be, where is my presentation here? The address is right here. So our tail is pointing to this address now. And it has element of value 2. Here we assign element to the address. Okay, so tail is this. We just enqueued 2. And let's stop it to see how it works. So we have our head and our tail pointing to different values. The first value was number 1 in our case, and number 2 was second value. So number 1 should come out first. I'll put 0 so the program knows it needs to exit and start dequeuing file of those values. Let's check if my value is not equal to 0. It equals to 0, we then go inside of this function, we print out finished enqueuing, start dequeuing. Yeah. Now let's check if our head is empty and it equals to false. Our head right now is not equals to null. So we go inside of this function. Before we print it, we go to Dequeue function. Let's see what's in our head right now. Here, get element, we see which element had. And it had number 1. Return element 1. This is what our temporary value equals now. After, assign next element to head. Next element was 2. So our head now equals to 2 and our temp equals to 1. This function returns 1. Okay, so temp is 1, head is the second value. So this address, that's where our head points to now. Let's check now if our head is empty. It's not empty, it's pointing to value 2. So we go to this function again. We go to Dequeue. Our temp now equals to 2. Our head points to next element, and we didn't have any next element, so it just points to next. Next is no. So our head points to nowhere, to the element which doesn't exist. We print out temp is 2, head is null. Return temp, which is 2. Here we check again. Is our head empty now? And it's true now. So it's not false anymore, and we will not go to this while statement now. This time we print good luck and goodbye. Okay guys, I'm sorry to make it so long. I'm just so sleepy, and I hope if you didn't have time you just skipped it. It was nice to talk to you again. Leave a like. If you don't like it, don't leave anything. See you.